Hey everyone, welcome to I Totally Love It. My name is Susan, and today I'm working on my September Junk Journal Madness journal. And once again, my guest collaborator is Nancy from Wishes and Weeds, and the theme is Marie Antoinette. And if you haven't been following along, I happened to find this book in our school library's giveaway pile. And it's, kind of worn. So I wanted to share what I've done so far. Then I thought, well, I'll bring you along on some of this. So as you recall, the last video, I was going to put this paper on the back and I had cut it a little short. And I was like, well, I'll just grab another one. While I was going through that pad of paper, I was like, you know what? I actually like this one a little bit better. So I have blue and pink since she kind of wears a lot of blue and pink. And so I cut it to size. I did round the corners with this little tool, the 3-way corner punch. I used the medium, which would be the 7mm corner. And I Mod Podged first, and then I put it on top. Um, it, I should have let it cure a little more. It did kind of wrinkle up a little bit, but I flattened it out quite a bit. So, anyways, I was getting ready to work on the front. And I thought, well, I'll bring you along. Also, I have like corners that I got. They're photo corners from Hobby Lobby, but they're too thin. They won't fit. This is too thick for them. So I'm gonna try to maybe get on Amazon. Um, before this journal series is over, see if I can find some. All right, so if you remember last week, I found this little trim that looked very similar to this little design on the cover. So I wanted to go ahead and I was getting ready to do this. I thought, well, I'll bring you guys along. So first, I just lined it up with that little piece there, and I thought I actually like it maybe if I go the whole way up and down, almost like a frame. So I'm going to do that on both sides and glue it down, and I'll probably just use some Barely Art glue and do it over here as well. And while I'm doing that, I think I'm going to go ahead and put this on the inside cover. I was going to put this as a pocket. However, it's perfectly trimmed where all the like designs end, and that would be it's too long. So I thought maybe I could somehow maybe glue it to something and end up using it as a pocket. But I don't want it to be like this. So maybe I'll have to put maybe we'll go with some transparency film, or we'll go with some color paper, maybe put that on the back of a, white page. But we have a lot to do. All right, so I'm going to glue this little bit on the front of the cover and also on the back to kind of hide that fabric exchange there where it ends. And I think this is the top. So I'm going to go do that, and I will be right back. All right, guys, here is the back. It's still curing a little bit there, but I went ahead and put on all the outside stuff, and I'm still trying to debate what to do, but there's the little trim there. I'm going to try to order some book corners and see if they'll fit, because the ones I want to get are different sizes, so hopefully it'll work. But if not, I do have these little pieces from my little bag of appliques that could fit in the corners there, just to kind of disguise that. And I could maybe get some gold paint, and maybe I'll do that anyways. Go around and give like a gold gilded look on the edges, perhaps, maybe. But I like how it's turned out. Let's look at the inside. There's that trim, and there it is there. All right, so let me clean this up here, and we're going to make a few things to go in our journal. All right, as we get into making things for our journal, let me remind you of the pages I have in this. It's a freebie. It's a Google Doc. There is a link below. It'll ask you to make a copy. It's also in my coffee shop for free. And you really only need to print, if you want to print, the last 2 pages, and you can probably get them front and back. This one that's labeled page 2, but technically page 3 when you print, is these are materials to include. These are ideas. You have something that's not on here, then use it. This is just to kind of remind you, oh, I forgot I had vellum, you know. Sometimes we stash things away, we forget what we have, and this is just to serve as a reminder of things that you could use. The next page and the last page that says page 3, but technically page 4, these are items to make. And once again, just suggestions. You can make, I think it's, what are we making, 10 different items? Let's double check. Yes, we're making 10 different items. And so just make 10 different things. So not like all the same kind of tag. So, you know, all the same kind of journal card or the same kind of pocket. Change it up. So I thought, well, what would you do if you're like me and you're going, okay, well, what should I start with? What should I make? So I decided to do something a little different. And in case you're ever stumped, here's an idea for you. Get you a bag. Put down, I took some leftover jelly print paper and cut up little strips and less love jelly print paper, let's be honest. And I wrote a bunch of those makes on the back. I thought, well, I'll just draw the bag. So I wrote things that I thought, you know, might go well in this journal. So we'll see and go from there. So let's see. The first thing we're going to make is a pocket with a belly band. Okay, that's fun. I don't think I've actually made one of those before, or if I have, it's been a long time. So a pocket with a belly band. If I did something like on this, you know, the like resume paper, a little thicker, and you know, you just took some scraps, and if you made it kind of tall, and the belly band doesn't necessarily have to be vertical, it can be horizontal. So you could do that and say, you know, some pink or maybe pink with a little green belly band. That looks kind of cute. I also have, I keep all my little scraps that I cut off. I like that color combination. Do I like the two greens? I don't. So I'm going to use that side. But it, you know, it could be like a whole like half page pocket, you know, where it's like half the page, and then you have a vertical belly band, or you could probably even do a horizontal belly band on that little strip. But then your item would be have to be super small. So I think what I'm going to do is make a pocket with a belly band and because I'm going to use that little green strip, which is in this signature, I'm going to go to the next signature. And do I want to put it on this paper? I don't know. I don't like the colors with that. Oh, I have a big one there too. Okay, well, we'll just do it in here then. Oh, that's going to be kind of back to back in that. Well, we can put it on something else on the back of that paper. And then we can think about also adding some other embellishments to this, maybe some trim. I like the green. I'm you know, second guessing mine. You know what I could use too is part of that might be an even stronger belly band. A strip from the you know, the fly page, end page. That might be better. And then it'd be a little stiffer. And then I know exactly how wide to cut this. I think I'll trim a little bit, but I think we'll do that. Okay, so let's get a trimmer out. I'll flip this over. So where's my pencil? Huh? Hang on. Well, I got this in a haul. So let's try this little pen. Okay, that'll work. Trim there. Get that my little creative memories. Hang on, guys. I am like swamped with stuff in my way here. I ended up using the clear tacky glue, you guys, on all the outside trim pieces and inside. Okay, water bottle. You're just gonna have to relocate over here. I tried Barely Art on the first time. I was like, I don't know why I thought that would even remotely work. It's just not strong enough for trim. Okay. There's my pocket. Now, I want to do a horizontal belly band. So, let's get some of this design in here. Maybe right through that part there. Oh, I don't know what it was stuffing on there. All right, there's my belly band for now. I'll show you. Well, let's get something more substantial here. But there's the belly band, and of course the nice deep pocket. So I'm sure we'll be making some tags and journal cards. I can go in there, and as always, I can put journaling paper. But I have that little bit from my little appliques bag, and I trimmed a little bit off just to kind of even it out on each side. That's just a little ribbon strip that I had in my bag of yellow trim. This summer sorted all my stuff by color, and I thought that one looked best with that. So, like I said, we'll come back and we'll be adding things to that. I'm gonna make one more thing in this video because I'm having an ant problem. Well, we're having an ant problem in our house, and they have found their way to under my craft table. So it's a little uncomfortable sitting here with ants every now and then finding their way up my foot or my leg. But here we go. Okay, this is a mini notepad or booklet. Awesome. Okay. Because, and of course, I probably just put that up. Okay. We got this. All right. We're going to make a little notepad, and you can take your scraps. You can, of course, you can take part of the book. You got thicker scrapbook paper, whatever kind of paper you want. And I'm digging through my little stash here. Hang on one. All right, so this is a leftover scrap from my July Journal Madness journal, which was Cinderella. Well, it was, a whole theme, but I did a Cinderella journal. So I thought, it's still kind of regal looking. We'll use this for Marie Antoinette. So what I'm going to do is cut this down to probably 3 inches here is what I'm going to do. Well, let's see. How tall do I want it? Because I can go ahead and cut that. Let's see. So I'm going to make it tag size. So in general, tags are double the length than they are the width. So this is a 3x6. So this would be like a tag size. And so we're making a mini, you can make a notepad or a booklet. Is that what it says? Yeah, mini notepad or booklet. So I'm gonna make a notepad because this will hang really well on a belly band. I don't know if it'll be that belly band, but I'm sure we'll have some other ones in our journal. So I'm just going to, my least favorite word, burnish. What did I do with my burnishing tool? Bone folder. It ran away. Oh, it's hiding behind. Everything's falling. Okay, back up there. So you might want to your taste, but an idea would be to make this wide enough so you could put a little decoration, because I'm going to use staples. Don't have to. I'm going to use staples, and then I'm going to want to cover it with something to hide the staples, so like a piece of lace or something. All right, and then you're going to want varying lengths of paper in here. So I have like, check your clearance at your craft stores. Hobby Lobby, I think last year it was, had a whole little 52 agenda pack of planner pages for cents. You know, it was less than $1 for the whole year. This was my daughter's school planner that I wrote a bunch of things in, and she never wrote anything else in. Leftover dyed paper I might use, I'm not sure. Some memo paper, and of course, little vintage refill here. So we're going to cut it down and use my bigger ruler here. I think, I think I want it like this. And varying widths as well. I'll do another one. We'll see if we're going to use both, but tell you what, I like the holes. So the nice thing about lined items is you have the lines to line up on. All right, this paper, we can go right down the middle. And then that should be, that's like right at where I want it. All right, we'll use both of those. Let's use this little planner paper. All right, let's move that out of the way. Let's see if we line it up like that. We'll cut off the days. I'll save those little bits for a little smaller notebook. And now, wait, there's more. I may have to trim off a little bit on the bottom of this one. Here, we'll line it up on the day. I like the little holes. So you can actually put those at the bottom like that so you can see them. So I'm going to trim off this other end. And if you don't mind the ends, you know, you can make them hand torn, whatever your preference is. Okay, and then you can use, don't have to use anything like this, but you could use a piece of your scrapbook paper that you're using in your kit, or your journal, I mean. But I think I'm going to try a little bit of this dyed pink. And then I need it to be a little, no, I want it to be, all right. So then we're going to rearrange these. All right, let me do that. All right, I've sorted them, and I do have a few pieces that I'll save for another time. You know, and you can make these varying widths so that you have some little variety, and they're a little staggered. If you want, I thought about the pink in the front, but I thought that's kind of bright, but then I can still see the pink here. So I'm just going to tuck it under that little lip there, and I'm going to staple it 2 times. Now, I don't have a Tim Holtz one. I just have a really old plain, probably Walmart one. All right, so now let's find some lace or something to go on this. Get that paper out of my way. This is green, so we want, I have all my little sorted bags out here staring at me. Pick me, pick me. I love this little lace. or trim. But that might be too low. Like I feel like that would be like at the top kind of thing. Okay, save that. Maybe we can use that somewhere else in the journal. This one, little pom-pom, same thing, because it's pom-pom on one side, not the other edge. We just wanted to kind of mask the fact that we have a staple there. All right, I think I'm gonna cut right in the middle of that. Scissors, scalpel. We use these Westcott scissors. Okay, and then I am going to use my Aleene's clear tacky glue, clear gel tacky glue. I wish I had some more gold trims. I'm really trying not to go out and buy anything, so just something in the future when I'm looking at thrift shop or wherever, or what's on sale, or that I need more gold things. And you can even add, if you had little flowers, you could add those. If you want to add buttons, depending on what your project is. But I think that kind of masks the staple pretty well. That's going to need to dry. And then, just to show you, so you take the back of it, and when you have a belly band, and it can fit right on your belly band like that. Yeah, the whole thing can fit in a pocket, but then you have to worry about all those little pages. And I think for me, this is the best solution. A horizontal belly band. So it's not going to go on this one. It'll go to one that doesn't have this. I don't want anything hanging over this because I don't want to, number one, hide it, and number two, you saw it sticking out. So I'm going to let this kind of finish drying, and I'm going to let this finish drying, and yeah, then I can put all my stuff away for today. But yes, I have quite a few. I don't know why I can't talk. I have quite a few people joining in. I love that. If you're joining in but you don't have a YouTube channel, let us know in the comments below. I have a Facebook group called Junk Journal Madness where you can share pictures, share your progress. So feel free to come join us. It does say, have a few questions you have to answer because, spammers. We don't want spammers. So just it's just 2 questions, and then we'll let you in. And it's a share all group. Like if you're using someone's digital kit, let us know. If you're making a video, let us know. If you have a series, let us know. It's not a just what Susan's doing kind of thing. It's what are we all doing, and it's a little community Facebook group, which it's different from I know some other groups. We don't sell in there currently. I think it's the only thing we don't do. But yeah, we'd love to have you join, and you can share your pictures if you're not a video maker creator. If you are making YouTube videos, that's a great place to let us know when your next video comes out. All right, so don't forget to go check out our guest collaborator, Nancy. This was her theme, and I'm enjoying it, and I can't wait to continue working in it. I will continue to pull out of that bag because I found like that really helps. I don't have to make a decision like this is what you're making. So if you have that kind of problem every now and then, a little like creator's block, try that strategy or put it on a spinning wheel. That website that I use for when we're picking the theme is just called wheelofnames.com. And, put in some things that you might want to make and put it on the wheel. Yeah, so thank you to those who are participating, and I can't wait to see what everyone's making. I've enjoyed watching the videos that I've seen so far. All right, you guys, I appreciate you and your time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, bye-bye.